YouTube, what is going on, everyone? It's your boy AC back with another video, and today is episode 96 of the little mini series where we take $100 and we continuously buy, trade, and sell sneakers till we make $100,000. Now, from all the buying, trading, and selling from last episode, we have a brand new grand total of right here. Again, slightly behind on episodes, so I'm still editing that video right now. But with that being said, if you guys are new here, we go to the malls 3 times an episode, condense all that footage into a quick little montage for you guys, then we quickly go over what we bought. So with that being said, let's waste no more time, head up to the stores and see what we're buying this episode. Okay, we are back and we got a good amount of shoes, and honestly we got a pair of shoes for like close to 80% off. It was insane. But first off, we got this pair of Jordan 9s. It is this NRG boot colorway, and we did get 2 different colorways. First off, we got a couple in this black colorway. Definitely a much nicer colorway than the other pair that we currently have and bought more of. And we got them from the Nike outlet. They're all the way priced down to $179.99. And these typically go for around like that $250 range. And just a really great pair of Jordan 9s. Now, I do know Jordan 9s aren't super popular or anything, but I personally think they're super underrated. And yeah, let me know in the comments below, would you guys wear this pair for like winter time or anything? Because these would be a great like winter time shoe. But yeah, like I said, it's not just this pair we bought. We also got this colorway, this green colorway. Now, unfortunately, we didn't get them for as good as a price as we did a few episodes back. If you do remember, we picked up a size 8.5 for $152.25, which is an insane steal, but it was only a size 8.5. Not the best mover, but the ones we picked up today, same price as the other ones we just went over. And yeah, all these Jordan 9s I just picked up honestly should sell really fast. I don't see these taking long whatsoever, especially because it's just a matter of time before snow starts hitting the ground, and these people will start to need these ones. But a great pair. Honestly, I'm debating keeping a pair of those Jordan 9s, a black pair, for myself for the winter, but I don't really need them at the end of the day. But it's a struggle, you know. If you guys know the terrible addiction to the sneaker game, then you know what I'm talking about. But let's move over to the shoes I talked about in the beginning, where we got them for an insane steal. And it's a shoe you probably would never think about, but it is this pair. These all black Converses, specifically the Converse Chuck Taylor All-Star High in the Lug Winter 2.0 highs. Now, they are a women's shoe, unfortunately, and we did grab sizes 8, 7, 6, and 5 women's. And I'm pretty sure the normal price on these guys were like $120, something really high like that. But at Champs, they had them reduced super heavily. We picked them up, I think it said $19.99, a crazy steal, around 20 bucks for these things. And like I said, winter's just around the corner. These things I should be able to sell for around $100 each pair, which is going to be a great ROI. You guys have to let me know, for $100, are you guys picking these up? Let me know in the comments below. Is this like a steal? Because I think this was a huge steal. But let's move over to some other stuff. We got a lot of Jordans and another thing from the Nike outlet, but let's move over to some Jordans like this pair. The Jordan 6 Toro Reds. Crazy colorway. Now, I knew as soon as these released that these are gonna go down in price and go on discount eventually, and they finally happened. We got a size 13 and 12 at Foot Locker because they are 25% off. These are 25% off. I believe the Jordan 7, that blue colorway, is also 25% off. The white Jordan 13s are also 25% off, so a lot of steals going around now. But the only thing that makes absolutely no sense is that back to school literally just happened, and now they're pushing out that 25% off shoes like this, which makes no sense. You would think they want to put those deals out for that back to school period, but I don't know, it made no sense to me. But let's move over to something we got from the Nike outlet, which is this pair. This all white gum Kill Shot 2. We've had these on the series before, and we've sold a bunch of them for a good price point. This is just a different colorway, but nonetheless, it is still the same shoe that we've sold time and time again for a lot of profit. They were around like 60 bucks, and I should be able to sell them for at least 100 to 80 bucks at the minimum. And we got a bunch of sizes: 10.5, 10, 9.5, 8.5, and a 7.5. Again, a shoe that should move really quickly. I don't see these taking that long to sell whatsoever, especially at the price point I got them for. They should sell really fast. But let's move over to, we have nothing but Jordans left, so let's move over to some Jordans like this pair. The Jordan 13 playoffs. They are grade school sizes. We got a bunch of them. We went down in price all the way to $99.99, so that's why we bought a bunch of them. Honestly, just a super like plain pair of 13s. Definitely not my favorite pair at all, but it's not the worst. It's just like an okay pair of 13s, but at the end of the day, a lot of people don't like 13s like the way I like 13s. I personally really like the 13 model. But yeah, not that many other people really like it like that either, and that just shows on the resale. But we got some better discounts on the next pair, which is this one. The Jordan 13 Black Flints. These were $79.99. We got every pair that they had left. Again, grade school sizes, unfortunately, but at $79.99 should be next to impossible not to make any money on these guys. In my opinion, this pair is a little bit better than the playoffs, but nothing too crazy. Again, just a really bland colorway, but a pair of 13s you can wear like on an everyday basics pretty much. But yeah, you guys have to let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think of 13s? Because a lot of people be hating on them, but I love them, especially the next colorway we got, which is this one, that UNC colorway. And as you guys can see, we got them for $99.99. I have a personal pair of these. I love this colorway, and I think it just looks so good on the Jordan 13 model itself. Like I said, a lot of people were hating on the 13s and don't give it like a proper chance, but trust me, 13s are well slept on. But at the end of the day, I'm not complaining about that, because for a shoe like this, I got my personal pair for like 120 bucks, brand new, because of how heavily discounted they were. But yeah, that's everything we picked up this episode. I think we did pretty well. A lot of stuff that should move really fast, and a lot of stuff that we got on a crazy discount. But yeah, with that being said, let's go over everything we sold this episode, starting with the Jordan 1 High Starfishes. We sold the 7.5, 7, both of the 6.5 and 6 women's. Then in the Jordan 1 Mid Stealth, we sold the 8.5, 7.5, and 10 women's. Then in our Cherry 11s, we sold 4 of the 4Ys, 2 of the 3.5Ys, 2 of the 4.5Ys, 1 6Y, and an 8 men's. Then in the Jordan Zion 2 Voodoos, we sold 3 10.5s and a 10. Then in the Nike Dunk High Anthrite White, we sold the 12, 11, 9.5, and 9. Then in the Nike Dunk Low Light Smoke Gray, we sold a 7 women's. Then finally, the Nike Dunk Low Terry Swoosh, we sold a 10, both of the 9s, both of the 8.5s, 7.5, 7, and 6 women. And yeah, as you can see, we did sell a decent amount of stuff this episode, getting closer and closer to that $100,000 milestone. But we did buy a good amount of stuff this episode, so let's go through everything in our inventory, including the stuff we just bought, starting with, and in the Converse Chuck Taylor All-Star Lugged Winter 2.0 highs, we have a size 8, 7, 6, and 5. Then in the Adidas Adilet 22 slides in the crystal white colorway, we have a 13, 12, and 10. Then in the Reebok Question Mid Michigan State, we have a size 13, 2 11s, a 10.5, 2 10s, 2 9.5s, and a 9. Then in the Yellow Toe colorway, we have a 10.5, 10, and 9.5. Then in the Answer DMX Georgetown, we have a size 10. Then in the LeBron 20 Black Metallic Gold, we have a 12, 11, 10, and 9.5. Then Nike PG6 Celestine Blue Peach Cream, we have 4 11.5s and 2 11s. Then the Adidas Addy 2000 Chalk White Black, we have a size 8.5. Starting off with the Yeezy 350 V2 in the cream colorway, we got a size 9.5. Then in the Nike Air Max 2017 Light Bone Off-White, we have a size 10.5. Then in the Air Max 90 SE Marion Frank Rudy Summit White colorway, we have a size 11. Then in the Golf NRG Players Championship, we have 2 11s and a 9. Then in the Air Max Plus Black and White, we have a size 7.5 women's. Then in the Nike Roshi Run Black Anthrite Sale, we have 2 13s, a 12, 2 11s, 2 10.5s, a 10, and 9.5. Then in the Iguana colorway, we have a 7.5 and 10. Then the Sport Red Cool Gray colorway, we have a 7.5. Then in the Nike Killshot 2 Leather Sale Gum, we have a 10.5, 10, 9.5, 8.5, and 7.5. Then in the Air Force One High Billie Eilish Sequan, we have a size size 10.5, 3 10s, 2 9.5s, and a 9. Then in the Nike Air Force One Mid QS Chocolate, we have a size 9. Then in the Air Force One Low Triple White, we have an 11.5. Then in the Reflective Swoosh White Blue colorway, we have a size 13. Then in the Uno colorway, we have a 12, 9.5, 7, 3 6.5s, and a 6. Then in the University Blue, we have a size 13, 11.5, 11, and 8. Then in the White Metallic Silver colorway, we have an 8.5. Then in the White Chocolate colorway, we have a 10.5 and 8.5. Then in the College Pack Midnight Navy colorway, we have 2 13s. Then in the White Wolf Gray Soul colorway, we have a 12 and 11. Then in the West Coast Los Angeles colorway, we have a size 7Y. Then in the Nike Air Griffey 1 Max, we have the San Francisco Giants, we have a 7 and 6Y. The Air Max 1 Crate Brown, we have 2 13s, a 12.5, 12, 3 11.5s, 2 11s, a 10.5, 2 10s, 2 9.5s, 2 9s, an 8.5, 3 7.5s, a 6.5, and 6. Then in the George Green colorway, we have a size 8 and 7. Then in the Dirty Denim colorway, we have 2 13s, 2 12s, 2 10.5s, a 10 and 8.5. Then the Air Max Thea Mid Ale Brown colorway, we have an 11, 8, 3 7.5s, and a 7 women's. Then in the Black Sail colorway, we have a 9, 8.5, 3 8s, a 7.5, and 6.5 women's. Then in the Nike Free Run 5.0 Black and White, we have a size 12. Then in the Nike Free RN Flyknit Black White Ombre, we have a size 9.5. Then in the white colorway, we have a 9.5 and 9. Then in the College Navy Orange colorway, we have a 10.5. Then in the Nike Vapor Max Flyknit Leopard, we have a 7.5, 7, 6.5, and 6 women's. Then in the Leopard colorway, we have a 9.5, 8.5, 7.5, and 5.5 women's. Then in the Peach Cream colorway, we have a size 10 women's, 2 9.5s, a 9, 2 8.5s, an 8, 2 7.5s, a 7, and 6 women's. Then in the Phantom Metallic Gold colorway, we have an 8.5, 9.5, and 2 10 women's. Then in the Pink Oxford colorway, we have a 10, 2 9 women's, 2 8.5s, a 7.5, 7, and 6.5 women's. Then in the Miami Hurricanes colorway, we have a size 13. Then in the Gorge Green Midnight Navy, we have a 9.5 women's and 7 women's. Then in the NBA 75th Anniversary Knicks colorway, we have a 10.5. Then in the Next Nature Homer Simpsons, we have a 6.5Y. Then in the Industrial Blue Preschool sizes, we have 2 3Ys, a 2Y, 1.5Y, 1Y, 2 13C, a 12C, 11.5C, and an 11C. Then in the Panda colorway, we have 6 13s, an 11.5, 11, 10.5, 9.5, 8.5, 9 women's, 3 3Ys, and a 2Y. Then in the Airbrush Swoosh Black, we have a 9.5 and 11. Then in the Rose Whisper, we have 10 women's. Then in the Pink Corduroy colorway, we have a 9. Then in the Jordan Access Bread, we have a size 11. Then in the Jordan Liftoff Black Dark Concord, we have a size 11. Then in the White Cement colorway, we have a size 13. Then in the Jordan Hydro 6 Black, we have a size 12. Then in the Jordan Sophia Slide Black and Red, we have a size 9 women's. Then in the Jordan 14 Lanies, we have 2 12s and a 7.5. Then in the Playoff colorway, we have a 9.5, 9, 2 8.5s, a 7Y, 6.5Y, and 6Y. Then in the Black Flint colorway, we have 3 13s, 3 12s, 2 11.5s, 2 11s, 3 10.5s, 2 10s, a 9.5, 9, 8, a 5.5Y, 2 6Ys, 2 6.5Ys, and a 7Y. Then in the Jordan 13 Black University Blue, we have 8 13s, 4 12s, 6 11.5s, 6 11s, a 10.5, 9.5, a 5.5Y, 6Y, and 6.5Y. Then in the Jordan 12 Hyper Royal, we have a size 9.5, 9, 8.5, and 8 women's. Then in the Black Taxi Toddler size, we have a size 11C and 2C. Then in the Jordan 11 Low Cement Gray, we have a 7Y, 6Y, and 2 4Ys. Then in the Jordan 9 Retro Boot RNG Military Brown Legion Green, we have a 13, 12, 11, 10.5, 10, and 8.5. Then in the Black Light Gum colorway, we have 2 12s, an 11, 10.5, 2 10s, a 9.5, 9, and 8.5. Then in the Jordan 7 Citrus, we have 4 8s. Then in the Jordan 6 Georgetowns, we have 6 13s, 2 12s, 611, two 10.5s, a 10, two 9.5s, a 9 and 8. Then in the chrome metallic colorway, we have two 13s, two 12s, two 5.5 Ys, and two 5 Ys. Then in the cool gray colorway, we have two 13s and two 12s. Then in the Toro Bravo colorway, we have a 13 and 12. Then in the Jordan 2 Chicago, we have a size 6.5 Y and 6 Y. Then in the cool gray colorway, we have two size 9 women's. Then in the Marina Blue colorway, in a size 6 women's. Then in the Chicago Flip colorway, we have a 9 women. Then in the White Toe colorway, we have a 4. Then in the Panda colorway, we have a size 9 women's. Then in the Recycled Grind colorway, we have a 6 and 5 Y. Then in the Jordan 1 High Taxis, we have two 7 Ys, 4 13, and a size 8. Then in the Lost and Found colorway, we have a size 1.5 Y, two 1 Ys, a 5C, and a 7C. And yeah, with all that stuff in our inventory, we still have our stuff that we have in consignment. We still have our other inventory that we have for holding on to sneakers. So we're gonna make it there. With that being said, thank you guys for watching to the end of the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on those post notifications so you never miss any of my newest videos. And yeah, we're not quite done yet. We still have to go through our tally, so let's waste no more time and roll our brand new tally right now.